You would like to become the best ninja you can. I get it, I want to as well. So I'm going to be comparing the two katanas in the game, the Splatana Wiper and Splatana Stamper, and ultimately which one you should be using. To start off, Splatanas are meant to be DPS weapons and are meant for killing rather than painting, so you're not going to be getting much painting out of both of these weapons. With that being said, we'll start off with the Splatana Stamper, being the slower of the two. The Splatana Stamper does 70 damage on a fully charged swing and 35 on a normal swing, which makes for a very good two-shot kill. The swing speed is not the fastest, but it still gets the job done. And a great trait with the katana weapons is that they all one-shot with a fully charged up close to an enemy. Where the Stamper really shines in my opinion is its sub and ultimate. The sub is the burst bombs, which I feel is very good for the Stamper. It helps it to reposition very quickly by leaving ink on the floor. You can use it to finish off your combos, and it's overall extremely helpful for the playstyle that the Stamper is supposed to have. Its ultimate is Zipcaster, and while 200 paint can be kind of pricey, it is actually pretty easy to fill up when you use the vertical slashes. Zipcaster, like I talked about in my previous video, which you should check out if you haven't, will pretty much make your character like a ninja and be able to cling onto walls so you can get closer to your enemies and finish them off. This is great to start fights with and engage, make great flanks for your team, and overall just have really good positioning on the map so that you can be oppressive no matter where you are. And this is where I feel the Splatana Stamper truly excels in its subcategory of weapon, because it allows you to be really oppressive at pretty much whatever distance, and you're meant to chase down your foes rather than spread paint, which can be very helpful in many of the game modes. This weapon plays similarly to the Octobrush in that it's more of an up-close weapon that's supposed to get kills on people, but it actually differs in that it has more range, and the vertical slashes act sort of like curling bombs, where you can trail behind your paint so you can get closer to people so that you can actually get the kill on them. Not to mention the one-shot vertical slash when you're up close to people. This weapon can really be oppressive in the right hands, and I feel like this weapon really shines in that area. So what isn't this weapon good at? Well, for one, subscribing to the channel is greatly appreciated as I'm trying to hit 10k. That'd be very cool of you, thank you. Well, for starters, the painting ability, while it's helpful vertically, is still rather low, and you can't really paint much around you. The burst bombs help with this situation, but even with the burst bombs, it is still rather difficult to escape certain situations where you're too close to an enemy or you're in a bad spot and you need to reposition. Painting on the floor just doesn't really help, and the vertical slashes, while they're pretty quick, they still take some time to charge. So overall, if you're looking for a weapon that can just straight up one-shot people and help your team by flanking and killing the opposition, then the Stamper is the best choice for you. Time for the second katana in the katana class, the Splatana Wiper. When comparing the Splatana Wiper to the Splatana Stamper, the Splatana Wiper has less range and does less damage. However, the rate of fire is quicker and can pressure opponents better when you're in their face. The charge slash does 60 damage while the regular slashes do 30, so the regular charge into slash combo that worked for the Stamper will now take an additional slash for it to kill. This weapon plays differently from the Stamper because although it is still focused on killing, it is mainly used for flushing out people so that you can trap them with your fast slashes and try and close the distance on them. And that is because of its wonderful sub-ability, Torpedo. Torpedo homes in on the enemy, and once it locks on and hits them, it sends clusters around them so it's harder for them to escape. That's when you close in with your katana and then you can spam them down until they die. The Splatana Wiper's ultimate is very helpful for it as well, as it is Ultra Stamp. Ultra Stamp plays pretty well into its kit because it can be used if you are in a situation where you're about to die, and can sort of act as a panic button where you can use it to mow down the person who is trying to kill you, or you can use it to, again, make that flank for your team where you kill about one or two of the team members so that the rest of your team can push in on the objective. Together, these abilities synergize well to make your opponent play how you want them to play, and ultimately punish them with either your fast slashes or your Ultra Stamp ability. The biggest problem with this Splatana Wiper is just the lack of damage. You need to hit 4 normal slashes to get a kill on this weapon when many other weapons can do that and quicker. A lot of weapons can do the flushing out playstyle a lot better than the Splatana Wiper, and the Splatana Wiper is just kind of left in a weird state where it gets the job done, but there's other weapons that just outclass it. So what are the pros of the Splatana Wiper? The weapon flushes out enemies so that you can chase them down with your katana, it has decent mobility, and a pretty good fire rate. That way you can pressure people or escape if you need to. However, because of its lackluster damage, this weapon actually finds some difficulty in winning straight up 1v1 fights, and a lot of the times you will be outranged by the person you're trying to fight. But when you can close the distance by either making them play around your torpedo and flush them out, this weapon can really play as a pretty solid support slash DPS type of weapon. And as for the Splatana Stamper, its main benefits are good range for a melee weapon, good mobility in terms of zipcaster and how you can flank with it, and pretty solid damage as it's able to two-shot people. Not to mention that burst bombs really synergize with this weapon's kit. However, its main downsides is low fire rate. It does not shoot that fast, and you can't really cover yourself if you're on the floor in enemies' ink. You only really have burst bombs to work with to splat the area around you, and you have to be pretty accurate with the weapon in order for it to work. You could also play this weapon in a different type of way by supporting your team with your vertical slashes to help build paint on the field and build straight lines to the enemy, so that you can build points for your zipcaster so that you can actually make your flanks to the enemy team. This is another strategy that I've been using with the Splatana Stamper, and it has been working decently well because I get zipcaster quite often even though it's a 200 paint special. That way I'm able to more reliably and more frequently go on to the enemy's side so that I can get the flanks in for my team, get the kills, and ultimately help push whatever objective they are trying to go for. So which one should you be choosing? So in my personal opinion, I feel like the Splatana Stamper fits the role more of what the katana class is supposed to do, so I feel like this is a better pick if you're looking for a Splatana to play. However, I'm now seeing that both of these Splatanas have different playstyles and are meant to be used in different ways. So use whichever one you feel the most comfortable with. If you're comfortable with more fire rate from the Splatana Wiper, you can opt for that. Or if you're looking to do more DPS and fill that role of a flanker, then the Splatana Stamper is for you. The combination of burst bombs and zipcaster really helps this weapon to shine in terms of getting around on the map and getting the kills that your team needs in order to advance whatever objective you guys are doing. For the Splatana Wiper, I feel like it just gets outclassed by the Splatana Stamper. I feel like a lot of other weapons can do the sort of flushing out playstyle that the Splatana Wiper does. Now, by no means am I a Splatoon professional, I just like to play this game, but I feel like if it wants to go for more that flushing out type of playstyle, I feel like the suction bomb would help this weapon out a lot because it would do the same role with the torpedo as in it would make people forced to move, except the suction bomb is a lot more versatile, I feel like, being able to stick to walls and not having to really track onto a person. Plus, even if you miss, it holds down space really well because you know it's going to blow up, so you can't really stay there and you have to wait until it's over, which I feel is great for the Splatana Wiper. But that's it for me. Let me know if you're going to pick up any of these weapons because I honestly love the Splatana class right now. It's my favorite weapon class. I will see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day / night, and remember to love yourself.
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to my boy.